Hi guys, it's me, Clown, with Ruby again, with Clownrubi podcast, and today we're talking about friends and memories. Specifically like memories with our friends, or like old friends I should say, that we don't see anymore. I've got a few. You've got a few.
Yeah. Woo!
But we're just gonna do this for a sec. We're gonna start sharing, and then we'll get into the subjects. You know what subjects we've got, like old friend subjects.
Oh, pardon me. How fucking rude.
I do have a few. These probably more like when I was in school, and I've told you a few of them. Like my gay mate Alan.
I love how you have to mention he's your gay mate.
Yeah. Well, if I say Alan, then I go into the subject about him being gay. People are going to be like, "What?"
Why didn't you just say your gay mate Alan?
That's what I just fucking said. Yeah, I have a real good friend. He's one of my best mates. He's called Alan, and he's gay.
And he's gay.
But the bad thing about Alan, I'll tell you one story about him.
Is it the time that he kissed you and you were like, nah, I don't like it?
Shut up. No, it's about his mum and dad. So his mum and dad were Catholic, so they're like, saying that like, and he had to marry a girl. He went on to be with a man. Like, they despised the gays, basically. And he was 18 when he came out to his mum and dad. We already knew. Around the school, everyone knew. But yeah, like,
Only said it to your mum.
like, what happened is he told his mum and dad, and
Able to send message. Your message appears to be blank. Please enter your message and it's because I have to enter a message. Hold on.
Yeah, like, he got kicked out basically, and I remember him ringing me up and him being like, "Owen, I've been kicked out." He's bawling his eyes out, and I'm like, "Why did you get kicked out?" And he was like, "Oh, well, it's on my mum that my boyfriend's coming up." They had like a plan to. So like at first, his mum and dad tried to accept it, if you know what I mean. Like, gave him the benefit of the doubt, if you know what I mean. Like, so they arranged to have like a family gathering, but also like he could bring his boyfriend at the time. And when his boyfriend got there, he was polite. Like, his boyfriend was a sound guy, if you know what I mean. But like, he just fucked up, but like the plan didn't got a plan. So like, his mum and dad said something really offensive towards his boyfriend, and basically it all kicked off and he got kicked out, and he came to me. But he had nowhere to go, so me and him were like walking around the streets together like all night. We managed to get a place in Halifax, which was like a sheltered accommodation place. He managed to get that, but after a while his family started getting used to it, him being gay, so they accepted it.
It's just telling me I had 5 posts. Add 5 or more posts today. Recruit more members. Use the power of cross posts.
Okay.
But
whatever, stupid thing. Yeah, so yeah, he got kicked out. But I remember he was like walking the streets, and it was really cold that night. And I managed to get to my auntie's, and well, we walked up to my auntie's, and I said to my auntie, "Is it alright if we stay over, you know, for the night?" But she was like, "No, because I've got no room." And then we ended up going back out, but we managed to get that place. We did go back. Went back to my auntie's and stayed at my auntie's. And he spent like 6 or 7 hours just dressing up my little cousin. He was like dressing her up in Barbie clothes and shit. And that's how I remember that night. I can't remember how me and Alan met, to be honest. I think it was at a house party.
Somebody's tired.
Yeah, I think it was at a house party where we met. We actually just sat up, fucking not doing it at his house party. This is before he met his boyfriend, but I knew Alan from school actually. So I met him in school, and he stood up in class, and because he got teased for being gay, but he was trying to hide it, you know. He was pretending to date one of our friends, and he just basically said that. And he stood up in class and he was like, "Fuck you." Yeah, so and that was all I remember. Yeah, that's all I remember. That's all I remember about school. I know I got into a lot of trouble at school, like I didn't even bother going. If you know what I mean. You were going as far as big?
Not really, all my mates were junkies. Even now. Nah, I do have a few good memories for school. But as I say, all my mates really turned to drugs and like drinking and
weekend.
Fucking going out partying, which I wasn't a big fan of anyway.
That's the thing, like I had a lot of like friends, but I also had like, what do you call it, like all my memories of being drunk is on the weekends. It was never during the week. It was always like Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
That's the thing, like so, I never like,
well, not Sunday, but
I drank probably once in a blue moon, and that was normally at Christmas and like with family. So yeah, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That was the main days that I drank, but I don't think
my mum allowed, to be honest, I don't actually think my mum allowed us to drink at the age of 14. Oh well. You know, on Christmas I'm saying.
I ken that my mum, as long as I was with my mum, and it was like the only thing I was allowed to drink was Clownrubi anyway, which literally is just fucking juice.
It is, but like that's the thing. I remember me and my cousin Cole go out, and basically what happened was we got Belgian beers, and she was friends with this guy called Barry. Well, we both met him, and he used to live on a boat next to the river, like, you know the canal that we were on about with Lingerie now? Well, it was that canal, Rochdale Canal, and he used to live on a boat of it. And for one weekend, like, I was staying over at my cousin's, and like we asked him to get his beers, basically. Us being like 14, you know, obviously we're not going to get served. So he went to the shop and got his beers, and we asked if we could stay over there, you know, if you know what I mean. And he tried to put sleeping pills into my drink. like, I'm stood at the end of the boat where the entrance is, right? And my cousin Cole comes out and she's like, "Ollie, don't drink it, he's put something in it." Because I thought it was just normal brew, if you know what I mean. So, like, I looked at it and it was like shite coffee, if you know what I mean. Like, it looked like literally like piss water. So I was like, "What do you mean don't drink it? What's he put in it?" And my cousin's like, "I don't know what he's put in it." So I poured it over the side of the boat without him looking. And then I walked into the side of his boat. Back inside where his living room would be. And he was like, "Oh, Owen, are you feeling tired of it?" Like, you know, mocking me and stuff. And I'm like, "No." But then it got to like 7 o'clock at night. And we didn't want to go back to my auntie's. Because I think we lied about where we were staying. Well, I think Cole lied about where she was staying. So we had the Belgian beers and we were drinking them on the way to my mum's, like my house. So while walking all the way up there, ended up staying at my mum's house. And then Cole fucked off the next day, but she still hung around with that barrel. I think she moved in with him for a while, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. But everyone kept on saying that she was sleeping with him. So I thought, it just creeped me out. Yeah. That's my life. There's only one bad near enough getting spiked, I should say. I have been spiked, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I've got. So,
how do you spell chick? Am I retarded? No.
Yeah.
Why is it being spelled?
I don't know. Go on, mate. You got to tell us something.
Basically, my school was shit. Nah, it wasn't actually that bad. It was actually, but we don't speak about it. Oh, fuck. I ain't paying shit. Leave me alone. But to be quite fair, like, we were just like normal kids. Like, we didn't go to drinking. Like, we used to go to like youth clubs. And
never really went to one.
That's the thing, like, we had a youth club called GY. If any country here knows what GY is, legend. GY was actually real fun. But I started going up until the age of probably just before 17, because they basically changed it. Where, like, GY, so basically, because of COVID, GY, like, you had to wear a mask for like 4 hours, because it was like, I think it was like 6 till 8. And you had to wear a mask the whole time. You couldn't take your mask off unless you were 5 feet apart. You had to hand sanitize, like, use hand sanitizer literally every time you touch something. Whether it be a chair, a table, a door handle, literally everything you had to hand sanitize. And I was allergic to their hand sanitizer, and the first time I actually opened again, which is actually quite a funny story, the first time they opened again, like, because of COVID, obviously they had like a couple month break, and they opened again, and it was actually at Spartans football club, but like they have like wee rooms. I say wee, they're fucking massive, but they're in like wee kind of caravan things. Ken, what you would get on like the set of movie? It's like the size of that for the outside, but inside's fucking massive. And it was in there. And so we all go in and we all hand sanitize and put our names down to let everyone know that we're there. And my hands started getting really itchy and really hot. And I said to Paul, I was like, which is a youth worker, I said to him, I was like, "Paul, my hands are sore, like literally sore, and they're really itchy." And he was like, "Right, go wash them." And I was like, Paul, I'm serious. I actually think I'm allergic to the hand sanitizer. My hand, literally, all the way down, red raw, all like wee dots. Like, it looked like the start of eczema. But, and because I've got eczema, obviously I know what it looks like and feels like. And I was like, no, that's not eczema. And I showed him my hands, and the back of my hands were literally bright red.
Yeah,
and the water I used to wash my hands was freezing, just to cool them down. And Paul was like, right, well, didn't put any more of that stuff on. Luckily I had stuff in my pocket, so I could use that, but I didn't put any more of it on. But it's weird, because then they use the same hand sanitizer as they'd use at, like, a doctor's surgery, or that, and, like, when we go and see my counsellor Anne, they use that same one. And every time I use that one, I didn't have an allergic reaction. It's weird, but yeah, I had an allergic reaction.
I've never really had an allergic reaction to anything.
I had an allergic reaction on my face twice. My sister-in-law Alicia was doing my makeup. She was like into college at this point, doing makeup and beauty and stuff, and it was all college makeup, it was all professional shit. And she was doing my makeup, full face makeup, foundation and everything. And she was doing my makeup, and I left it on, washed it off that night. Woke up the next day and my face was bright red.
Yeah.
And I was allergic to glitter that my cousin used, because she's still in college for makeup, but she was doing like this thing for a portfolio where it's like fantasy makeup. So she had glued a zip from one side of my face all the way down and up, and she had put pink glitter in that triangle. Woke up, got home, took it off, go through to my mum. I've actually got a video on my phone. Go through to my mum, and my mum's like, Nicole, why is your face red? Like, bright pink. And I was like, well, I just took off the glitter. Looked in the mirror, and my face, literally, big triangle fucking shape on my face, bright red.
I bet that was embarrassing walking out.
Nah, cause I didn't really go after it. I was like, I'm not leaving till that's fucked up.
That's the thing, like, when it came to my friends, like, say the toddler, like PJ and like Siobhan and all that, like, the thing is, they were dickheads, I should say. Like, they were complete utter dickheads. And it's like, all they cared about was getting pissed. And it was mainly like, if my mum was working, like, it would be us lot in the house. But like, Catherine, oh my god, we stopped dating, right, and she ends up coming to my mum's house and sits outside my bedroom, because my bedroom's like second floor obviously, so like it's walking over the back garden. She sat out there for 2 hours and like just sat there calling my name, and my sister Ella went out and went, he's not in, go away. And like, she won't piss off, like, she was proper stalking us. And it got to a point where I was like, I cannot even go to my grandma's without her. Like, if
that was me, I'd just be like, bitch, leave me alone.
Well, that's the thing, she lived near my grandma, so like, as you came up the street, because my grandma lived at what we called the park area, which was like, let's say like one block, say like where the bike track is, that would have been the park, and then on the other side of the bike track where your gran is, that would have been my grandma's house. And like, she lived before then, so it depends which way you're going. Like, if I went the bike track way and then went down and cut across, I would be able to get to my grandma's without her seeing me. But if she saw me go up the straight road up to Domino's, she would see me. And it's like, her mum was sound as fuck though, but it was just her. And then she started dating Brian, dickhead Brian, Haley's ex. And then, like, that was it. Like, I stopped speaking to her, and then we got in contact again when I was in Hebden with Matt and all that, and I was like chilling with them lot. It was actually just after they broke into an house. I think I've told you this. Like, they broke into an house, like, and they opened the front door for me, Matt and Popper, and all three of us went in, and Matty Shepherd, not my mate, he's called Greenwood, Matty Shepherd was Nick, like my older brother Nick's friend, but he used to hang around in Hebden, so we'd hang around with him as well. He told us that the lassie who owned the place was friends with him and that she left the house keys for him. And he got a bit sketchy, so me and Matt said, right, we're going, we're ditching, I'll see you in a fucking bit, mate. So me and Greenie fucking walk out, and as we're walking down, fucking cop car pulls up. And it's fucking half-caste Tony, the fucking complete utter cunt. He was a community officer before he became a police officer. He comes pulling up, parks up in front of him and was like, Owen, have you been in that house? I'm like, what house? And he's like, that one, number 4. I'm like, no, don't know what you're on about. Even though we were. But he gets out of the car, like my other mate Matt Greenwood, he turns around and goes, we better fucking run, because if they find them 3 in there, because he had Matty Shepherd, his girlfriend Ree, and Poppy in there. And like, Poppy's never been in trouble, but Ree and Matt have, and they were smoking green, and Poppy only stayed because they were smoking green. We were like, nah, we don't want to stay. So we end up running, and that fucking dickhead gets arrested, and nothing goes back to my house, like my mum's house, because I didn't do it, and like they didn't see it.
That's the thing, like, we actually technically broke into an abandoned hospital. But this hospital's only been abandoned for like a few years at that point. Like, it was basically, it was an older looking building to the outside, but as soon as you go in the building, everything was still there. Nothing had mould on it, nothing had rust on it, anything like that. So it must have only been abandoned a couple years maybe.
My older sister would know more about Black House, but we only used to go to the Black House. It was an abandoned house.
See if I can find a picture.
Abandoned house that got burnt down. Like, it was burnt, but like you could still walk on the floorboards. I think the floorboard. It wasn't even floorboard. It was like concrete, and then like wood over the top of it. So it was like concrete, wood, whatever you want to call it.
Actually, I think it's more paper.
Oh.
So look. See if I can find it. So that's Leicester now. Which I'm not going to pull up, because then that'll give people...
Well, that hospital was nice.
That'll give people like a wee bit of a vantage point to know where I live. But I don't think it's done.
Oh, fucking hell, the state of that.
That's the thing, like, so we basically, like, it had construction fences around it.
Yeah.
And we basically literally just lifted the fence and walked in. But
yeah, but you can, that's the thing, it's like stupid. They put the fucking construction shit over and you can still walk in it. And that's what we did. We used to, where my cousin Cole lived, on the main road there was like an abandoned factory, and you couldn't get into the factory, but you could get into like that area, if you know what I mean. And like, there was a broken down house that was like demolished or something, and like it was just a dirt track thing, and we used to hang around there, and it was abandoned, but that was about it.
I actually think it might be that.
So
but anyway, we broke into this hospital, And by broke in, I mean we walked fucking in the doors, but the hospital front doors and basically any door was locked. But there was one specific window that was broken, but it wasn't us that broke it. But
We'll just go back to
yeah, it wasn't us that broke it. It was like some other fannies that broke in. But,
yeah, but
at the time we were actually filming it because my mate. So basically, I was with Dean, Taylor, Lewis, and then there was me, and someone else was supposed to be coming, but he's a dickhead. So, but we basically just lifted the fence, walked in, and we were gonna go inside, but we kind of chickened it. But
that's the thing.
to be quite fair, we were there to explore, but at the same time we were there just to get pictures for Dean's Instagram. That was it. And I'm actually sure he's still got the pictures up.
Well, I told you about the World War II bunkers in London.
I actually wonder if he does still have that.
Me and Ryan went there. As like a joke, we just went there. And like, we all chickened out because it was fucking shit scary. Like, it was pitch black in that place, but also at the same time, like, yeah, like at the same time it was like, you know, like, we could hear shit, so we chickened out and just ran off. But we did go back. Went back like the second time and didn't bother.
Just random guys.
Anyway, I'm gonna go to the toilet so you can shut.
Yeah. I don't actually know if I'm spelling his name right. I don't know if it's one L or two L's. I don't know, I was trying to find the picture just so, because it was quite a cool picture. But, whatever. Yeah, we didn't break in, we just kinda, like, walked in, we'll say. Basically walked in these front doors and we jumped up, so because the roof was quite high, like it wasn't high but it was high enough, and me and Taylor couldn't get over it, so what we done, because there was stairs that led into it and there was a wall at the stairs, and so we put a trolley, like a shopping trolley, on the wall and then climbed up. But we ended up just chilling on the roof and taking pictures for our Instagram and that. And then there's a church behind it, and this guy come out, just a random guy, probably mid-30s maybe, come out and he was like, I think he said get off the roof, or like you better leave the hospital, or whatever he was saying. And he was like, if you don't, we're phoning the police. And I was like all of us were just like, phone the police. And then he actually did phone the police, so we booked it. But literally 2 days later, fucking the roof, some fucking idiots went up and set fire to the roof. But I don't think the roof actually caved in or that. I think it was just a small fire with paper and shit. But
yeah, but still
caved in. But they basically just ruined the fun for everyone, because anyone at that point could get into that hospital, and now there's literally like big wooden fences around it.
Yeah, we've walked past it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, I do want to go back and maybe film it.
Thing.
But
like,
as I said to you, like, you can't really get into it unless it's at night because of security. But bear in mind, when we did go there, security was there because there's a wee outroom thing that, like, there was no cameras on the outside of that, but there's a wee outroom thing where a guy is in for security. He didn't come out to tell us to get off, and he knew that we were there because there was a big fuck off window looking right at the hospital, and he was sitting in front of it. It was some random geezer for a church. And I was like, bitch, where you go Bible bash?
Some people did, like, that's the thing, you weren't supposed to go to the...
Chloe's here, or...
I don't know. Well, okay. Mostly it's my mum. Hiya, mum.
Started screaming less than a minute ago. What do you mean I've been screaming?
It always does that, you know it does. Like, no, like, we got told off for walking, like, Halifax police station is, like, used to be where Ryburn was, like, not that far away from it. And because Boothtown was right across from it, and they had a 24-hour gas station, or garage, like, me, Nick, and dickhead Mark Bowers, before we fell out, and yeah, he's a sack of shit, just because he's not a loyal friend. But anyway, like, we needed back here, so me and Nick and Mark went straight past the police station. And it's funny because one of the officers recognised me, and he like came over to me, like all three of them, like about 6 cop cars, for no reason, stoppers, and they're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're just cutting through. We're just like getting to the garage." And then they're like, "What's your name?" and shit. And we gave him our name, and then gave him our old address, because that's what we were still registered at. And fucking hell, they were just complete utter cunts with us.
You know what's actually funny? I was speaking about GY earlier, but going back to it, we were walking back to GY one night. There was me, my brother Mason, Mason's mate Justin, Mason's other mate Jamie Lee, my mate Jonathan, and then our mate Tasha and Lee. Tasha and Lee were cousins, and then the rest of us were just mates. But we were walking back for GY, and we noticed, so basically when we come back we have to go over a bridge, which we call the Red Bridge because it's fucking red, duh. But
well, yeah, it's because it's red.
But
no, it's pink.
But we come to this bridge, and we noticed there was
the
like
pink bridge, yeah, the pinky red,
the pink one. There was 2 police officers at the start of the bridge and at the end of the bridge. Pink bridge, right? The pink one. No, the red one,
right,
the pink one.
Yeah.
And there was 2 police officers there, and like we walked past them and it was fine. And then Mason and Justin and that thought it would be funny to say that they were going to tan their van up, just taking the piss, right? And this, like, we ended up walking away, and like we didn't see them leave the bridge. So it was like we walked away, like basically we had to walk up this street, like up the main road, and then turn left to go down one of the street, and then we would walk along to the shop. And we got to this street where we would have to walk, like turn left to go up for the main road. And who comes along? The cunts with the van. So they stop us, and Jonathan's a pussy. He was like, "Fuck you, I'm going home." Jamie Lee, I think, did she already leave us? She must have. I think before we had turned left, she had went down because she stays down the road. Tasha was like, "Nah, fuck that, I'm not getting stopped by the police." Lee, he already fucking left. He was well gone. So it was just me, Mason and Justin. And obviously Mason, my brother, and like, I didn't really want to keep in the dark with it, but I probably would have been safer walking in the dark with me than I would have been with Mason. But anyway, so they pull up next to us, and there's me, Justin and Mason, and they get out, and it's 2 police officers, 1 woman and 1 guy. And the guy's speaking to Mason and Justin, and like asking their details, their date of birth and their name and their address and shit. And they were asking mine, and I was like, "Now do I want to get arrested?" And I just turned around and went to the police officer, "Do I have to give my information? I am underage at the end of the day." And she was like, "Aye, or we'll take you home in the police van." And I was like, "Oh, cool, free left." But I wanted fags that day anyway. But
it's not that far anyway.
I ended up giving her my details, and Mason and Justin got like, I reckon if you call it a citation, basically they got this slip that basically said they two couldn't be in the same spot for like 48 hours or something together. They could be in the spot separate, but they weren't allowed to be together.
Oh, so they got the second citation.
Let's be real, Mason and Justin were together the next day in the exact same fucking spot, but they let me off scot-free anyway.
Yeah, the same thing. That fucking community officer, Donna, the cop around, like, he was an absolute cunt. I was sat with Right, I was sat with my Auntie Jill and one of my friends, but I can't remember which one it was. I was hammered. He saw us at the duck pond in Hebden Bridge, where it's like, it's actually the part of like a river that runs through Calderdale. I don't know what it's called, whatever. But there's a bridge that goes over that separates like two places. So like the duck pond's there anyway, at a bridge.
Is that the red bridge?
No, it's the pinky red. No, like underneath, you could sit underneath the bridge. And like from that side, if you're walking like on the right side, left side, if you're walking that way, you can't see under the bridge. But if you're on the opposite side, over the bridge, you could see. And he was over the bridge, and that fucker sees us. So he's like, I'll just say Jay, whatever. Me and Jay sat there. Actually, no, it was Brownie, my mate Brownie. We were sat there, and Johnny comes. We're sat there going, like, he's smoking a joint with my Auntie Jill. I'm having a drink, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. This cunt. He comes over the bridge, exact same time as I said, oh, this cunt. He comes over, drops down, and I'm like, what do you want now, dickhead? And he was like, oh, and, like, I swear, I will get the coppers here now and arrest you. I'm like, do it, man. I'm fucking sick of you. You fucking harass us all the time.
I'd be like, arrest me for what?
No, he used to literally. He was coming to the park and he'd be like, I'm searching you under section 27 of the Misuse Drug Act thing. Right? And we were like, you can't search us. You're not even an officer. Like, you're not a police officer. And we haven't done all. And he used to do it all the time, but when he saw us at the bridge, Auntie Jill was like trying to stand up and she's like, what do you want? But she used to get into trouble all the time. But yeah.
What's this about Johnny Depp? Depp has filed a countered suit against Amber Heard, which is 5 times her reported net worth, and it seems as though she is desperate to get dirt on her ex-husband in an attempt for him to settle or throw out his defamation case. Amber Heard has a meltdown after negative Johnny Depp press fake black eye and leak audio tapes. She hired a private investigator who has failed to dig up any dirt on the 56-year-old actor, and her appeal to have the case dismissed has officially been rejected. That means that Johnny Depp has sufficient evidence against Amber Heard, and the judge will not likely rule in his favour. Gordon Ramsay, delicious. Finally, some good fucking news. That's funny.
Well,
I'm glad she had a meltdown. She's a stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. To be quite fair, tell you what, Johnny Depp is the only actor now that literally melts my heart. He is such a kind soul.
Like I said, he's a good singer as well.
Fancy him. I'm joking. I don't actually.
How long is this stream?
He's over my age limit. It's 38 minutes.
Well, we're going to end this stream here, guys, and hope to see you in the next one.
Why do you sound like a robot? Sounds like Siri. Hope to see you in the next
I
one.
hope to see you in the next stream. Please press delete. And if
if you enjoy the podcast, shut up. If you enjoy the podcast, please like and subscribe and comment on our. Actually, go to our Reddit and leave suggestions on what you would like to talk about in the podcast. Nothing sexual or too deep, like about us. Anyway, like nothing about like our personal lives or anything like that. But it could be like you could be asking for advice, or we should actually do a podcast where we write down a bunch of questions if people leave us questions and Reddit, and we should give advice.
Anyway, yeah, right. I'm not done yet.
Right.
Yeah, if you do, there's also even in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, well, all the YouTube comments. I mean, just say it in the YouTube comments. Fucking easier. Just throw out what I just said and say it in the YouTube comments. Throw out the Reddit.
But also check out our Reddit.
Yeah.
And
Twitter,
Tumblr.
and Tumblr, and Facebook. And
No
basically every fucking
No
social media.
Facebook, not Shitebook. But
No, check out our individual profiles on Facebook. But nonetheless, we will see you